we have the energy to keep going, and we're gonna push back.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna push back, and we're gonna take this power back, give it back to the people. We're gonna stand up for everyone that's been oppressed, everyone that's been wronged. Everyone's excited, but everyone's mad.
That's right.
So let's use this. Let's have these conversations. Let's keep showing up. Let's not surrender to the powerful. Thank you so much for being out here.
Woo!
Our next speaker, some of you are very familiar with her. If not, I think many of you have heard of Border Angels. We have the acting director of Border Angels here with us, and she's going to open up with some remarks. Give it up for Dulce Garcia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
No one should die at our borders.
That's right.
No one should die at our borders. Since Operation Gatekeeper, there have been over 10,000 deaths. So say it with me.
No one.
Not one more.
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 These deaths are the direct consequence of our immigration policies. We are killing them. Joaquin was talking about the image of a man drowning in a river. We drowned him. We killed him. Because when we close the doors to the most vulnerable people knocking at our doors, when we tell them that their choices are to remain in Tijuana, one of the most dangerous cities in the world, or face family separation, have our own government steal their children, or attempt to cross through the desert, is that really a choice that we give them? So I'm very appreciative of every single one of you that is here today, because you are taking a stand, because you have had enough, because I have had enough with you. But we have been doing this for far, far too long. Just years ago, I faced my own brother in a detention center, saw his face behind a glass window. And his broken spirit broke my spirit. And I chose that day not to normalize this pain. And I carry that with me every single day so that I don't desensitize myself from the pain that my own clients face when I go see them in these detention centers. So when I hear stories of people like Ana Maria Hernandez, 10 years old with cerebral palsy, being put in a detention center after having surgery, I allow myself to let that pain hurt me.
That's right.
Period.
Because we should all be hurting. We should all be touched by the images of our people drowning, of our people being killed in a desert. Some of them don't have names, pero no son olvidados. We will remember them. We do remember them. We carry their pain every single day. Our community has been hurting every single day. And it's not only with this administration, but we have had enough. And I remain hopeful. I do believe love will win. Because there are people like you. I want to see in my lifetime Border Angels not have to go to the desert and drop one more gallon of water.
That's right.
I want to see in my lifetime concentration camps shut down for good, not just in our borders, but everywhere in the world.
That's right.
I want to see in my lifetime no more federal prisons where our people are criminalized just for the mere fact of attempting to survive.
That's right.
Let our people go. Yes, we have the right to life. We have the right to dignity and respect. And let's not forget, these are children. These are our children. These are our children that we're arguing about toothbrushes and soap. We're arguing about whether this is a concentration camp or not. When we know $775 per night per child, and we're arguing whether we have enough resources to give them soap. Is that who we are? Is that who we want to be?
No.
Let's free the babies. It's been far too long. We all have dignity and respect. So I hope, and this isn't wishful thinking, because I know how powerful our community is. I hope, and I have real hope, that every single one of us can make a change. We can pressure our politicians so that they don't forget what we're suffering here at our border. Sometimes they're in DC, far too removed from our reality here at the border. So I appreciate you. Please keep coming up in numbers, keep marching, keep voting, keep pressuring these people so that we no longer have more deaths in our borders. Ya no más muertes. Ya basta.
Immigrant rights are human rights. Immigrant rights are human rights.
Immigrant rights are human rights.
Immigrant rights are human rights. Immigrant rights are human rights.
Immigrant
Rights are human rights. That's right.
Thank you, Dulce. Like Dulce said, this has been happening for a long time. Families being torn apart is not new. It's not new in our country. It's not new anywhere in the world. Many of us have experienced it firsthand, as I have. My family was torn apart more than once growing up here with immigrant parents. My dad kept getting deported, and he'd be right back in the soaking rain, in the hot desert sun, but he'd be right back because he knew he needed to be back to provide for his 7 children and for his wife. But at the end of the day, these policies won. They kept them in custody for longer than previously. My mom lost the apartment. She couldn't make ends meet. As a mother of 7 children on her own, without her partner, without her second half, in a country that's dominated by men, a country where inequality has no limits.
Right.
She could not make ends meet there. She had to make the tough decision of moving back to a country she hadn't been in for almost 20 years. This is something that has been going on for far too long, and I'm very grateful with every single one of you who are here standing in solidarity, saying that enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
I want to say thank you to all our sponsors, our co-sponsors. Another great organization that's out here doing the work, who was also out here a year ago, is Immigrant Justice Now. Marely Ramirez is going to say a few words representing Immigrant Justice Now. Give it up for Marely.
Immigrant justice now! Immigrant justice now!
Good morning. My name is Marely Ramirez. I'm a community activist. I'm also an organizer with Immigrant Justice Now. formerly known as Families Belong Together. We're dedicated to raise awareness and to end abuse and unjust immigration policies and practices. Almost 4 months ago, I was forced to step down from my community activism due to a knee injury. During my absence, I learned that it is important to take breaks, recharge, and protect our sanity. I reflected on the millions of stories that echo in the history of our nation. Family migrations from around the world have created a special richness in diversity like no other in the world. The stories resonate in synchronicity, seeking a better future. I returned from my recovery to find more anti-immigrant madness, more horrific attacks, and racism towards families seeking asylum. The Trump administration is obsessed with tarnishing the meaning of the words immigrant and asylum seeker. Last year, we the people pushed our elected officials to stop the insanity of the zero tolerance policy. Today, as we stand on this beautiful Kumeyaay land, the call of action is simple. Once again, become the voice for immigrant justice. I invite you to continue making positive impacts. Invigorate your neighbors one conversation at a time. Educate those confused about anti-immigrant policies. Remind people of the long-term consequences of racism. Encourage those who have been on the front lines to take a break. Maybe you need a break too, and that's okay.
Maybe you
Call
need
or
to step
send
up.
a tweet to your elected officials and demand true, comprehensive immigration reform.
Period.
Vote for
Sign
people.
up to register voters. The anti-immigrant narrative will not change until Trump is removed from office and we flip the Senate. Learn about Operation Streamline. It's happening here in San Diego. Make a donation to your favorite pro-immigrant group, including Immigrant Justice Now. Volunteer with the San Diego Rapid Response Network. Donate to the Borderlands Get Free Fund and help hundreds of asylum seekers currently detained at the Otay Mesa Detention Center. As citizens of this great nation, it is our responsibility to defend dignity. It is our responsibility to defend our nation. It is our responsibility to defend the symbolic meaning of the Statue of Liberty, that which is the universal symbol of freedom. Remember, our collective efforts to defend immigrant justice will be the glorious victory of the people for all the people. My name is Ramirez. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Marily. Next up, we have a person who has a very moving personal story to tell. Someone who has also been here at since a very young age. Give it up for Rosy Garcia. Rose, thank you for coming.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosy Garcia, as Joaquin said. I want to thank you so much for being here. It really takes a kind heart to take your Sunday family and come over here and defend our immigrants' rights. I personally cannot spend a family day out thinking about those families that are being separated at the border, those children that are being treated unfairly. I have a 3-month-old baby, and when I heard that there was a 3-month-old baby without diapers at the border in a cage, cold, that the mother was crying, holding the baby close to her to keep him warm, it broke my heart. It affects me personally. I am the daughter of immigrant families, and it really breaks my heart to see all that is happening at the border. Half of my family, it's on the other side. I can't not visit them, they cannot visit me. All we have is pictures, social media to communicate and tell each other that we love each other. They're close, they're just on the other side of the border. But these people, these immigrants, they're so far away. They come from El Salvador, Guatemala. They're fleeing violence. They come here to the land of the freedom, the land of the opportunities, and look what we've done to them. We have killed them, we're mistreating them, we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We are known for taking care of the children. These are children too. Why are we not taking care of them? I want to thank you so much for being here and supporting immigrants' rights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. One of the reasons why we're here, and why we have such heartless, destructive policies in place is because we've been sitting on the sidelines and not doing our part. Like Dulce Garcia said, those children, we killed them. We, for not acting, are complicit. So what we need, just as Marely said, is to get the right people in power. Flip that Senate, flip the White House, and start getting the right people into those offices. People that are going through these struggles day by day, year after year. People that cannot spend a day in their lives without thinking, what am I going to do the next day to make ends meet? How am I going to see my father? Or when am I going to see my mother? I want to welcome our next speaker.
That's too long. That's my bad.
She's a resident of Linda Vista. She's here to speak her mind, speak her heart, tell her story. Please welcome Sharon Larios.
Good morning, buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
I want to start off with
Buenos dias!
I wanted to bring up a word that for me, when I was a teenager trying to understand my roots and where I came from and my ancestors, it was a word that really resonated with me a lot. And it's inlakech. And inlakech means I am another you. And inlakech is something that our ancestors, the Mayans, used to say to each other on an everyday basis. Inlakech, I am another you. I see you. With everything that's happening right now, with immigration and family separation, it's like you've heard, it's nothing that is new. And it pisses me off so much that what I went through as a child, what my mother went through when she was pregnant with me and when she got separated from my father, it's still happening today.
The only thing is that now with the power of media, with social media, it's in our faces on a daily basis. And that's a good thing. However, it also makes me mad that here in San Diego, we're only 30 minutes away from the border. And we're not doing shit. Period. We're not doing anything. We should be leading the movement. We should be standing up and showing the world, showing the nation, showing the U.S. the power that we have here. The movement that we could create. My parents crossed the border at 17 years old. My mother left her family at 17. She left San Luis Potosí. My father left Sayula, Jalisco. And they made Linda Vista their home. The Linda Vista that I see today has not changed. And it's not just in my community that this is happening. It's all over San Diego. When you hear ICE, when you hear before it was La Migra, everybody ducking. I was ducking because I would see my family ducking. Oh, La Migra, let's all duck, let's hide. We shouldn't be in fear. Currently, right now, with my position, I work at the County of San Diego in Health and Human Services Agency, and I work with families every single day that come and apply for benefits for their children that are born here. Halfway through the application process, they withdraw their application, and I ask them why. You're entitled to these benefits. Your children are entitled to the benefits. You're entitled to food. No, I'm scared. My husband just got deported. We lost our home. I'm renting a room with all 5 of my kids, and I can't risk giving you my information because I don't want to get deported and my kids get separated. What's going to happen to my kids? Okay. And this is something that I see every single day. More than 5 families every single day say this to me all the time, and I'm withdrawing applications. For what? Why? You're entitled to this benefit, you're entitled to this food, but the fear is real. The fear that we see on the media, the fear that this administration has instilled in us is real. But what we need to remember is that that is only the 1%. They are the 1%. Look around you. This isn't just us Mexicans here. This isn't just Latinos here. Everybody's here. All walks of life are here. And we need to stay together. We need to stand together for this. We need to activate that 99% in San Diego. We need to stand together. And we need to show the U.S. that we are no longer going to tolerate this anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. No more.
Number 2, when it comes to people say that this nation is created and empowered by immigrants, it's made of immigrants. No. This land was ours, first of all. This land was ours. This land was taken from us. And we were taken from our lands to come down here. We need to start reminding ourselves who we are. Tenemos la sangre de guerreros. We have the blood of warriors inside of us. Let's wake that up and let's show the world. San Diego, we need to stand up. Ya basta. No more. We cannot do this anymore. Families cannot be separated. Our next generation of children cannot continue to carry this trauma. We want change. We need to be the ones at the center of it. Enough is enough. I'm tired of being pissed off. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of turning off the news and getting away from social media because this is painful and this is something that has not happened just today. This is something that has been happening. How much longer are we going to continue this? I'm going to be 30 years old. This is happening for 30 years? 30 years.
Now we have to fight it.
Enough is enough. No more.
Democrats and getting more, Democrats.
Let's show the world what we can do, San Diego. We're 30 minutes away. This can no longer be happening. Thank you.
Even if you don't know them, check to see that they're supported by the Democratic Party.
Good job.
Now a round of applause to Sharon Latinos. Thank you so much, Sharon. Our next speaker is part of an organization that's also doing a lot of work in this area. The San Diego Border Dreamers are also part of our sponsors, so I want to give it up for them. And I want you to please welcome Milad Torabi.
Yeah. Woo! Oh.
Hello, everybody. My name is Milad Torabi, and I'm an organizer from the San Diego Border Dreamers, and I am a DACA recipient. Thank you all for having me today. I really appreciate that. Start with a little speech. Let's see how it goes. So, this administration continues to show its xenophobic and racist tendencies with policies it passes. To name a few, it has rescinded DACA, which has thrown millions of lives in disarray and caused unnecessary fears and anxieties in our households by the fear of deportation and being separated from our families. This administration has increased the budget for agencies like ICE that continue to target law-abiding individuals in our communities and ultimately ripping families apart. It has passed a Muslim ban that systematically profiles and discriminates against an entire religious group. It has passed a zero-tolerance policy effectively criminalizing the process of seeking asylum and making criminal prosecutions of immigrants' offenses a high priority. Now, it is funding and operating facilities that many consider concentration camps, where children are denied access to basic toiletries like soap, shampoo, and toothpaste. The horrific condition that migrants are held in have led to 24 confirmed deaths, and I believe there was another today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
7 of which are children. In December of last year, there was an internal memo. An ICE supervisor admitted that the ICE Health Service Corps, the agency's own medical service provider, is severely dysfunctional and could have prevented harm and deaths to the detainees. Bear in mind, there is no end in sight unless we do something. Recently, the House and Senate passed a humanitarian aid package, as they want to call it, that is meant to mitigate these harmful conditions, but do not be fooled. We will fund the same agencies that are causing these abhorrent conditions with little to no restrictions. Without implementing restrictions, the dysfunctional system that exists in these camps will continue to disregard the needs of detainees. There are no standards that will force facilities to comply with and be held accountable to provide a level of basic humanitarian treatment. Enough is enough. This administration needs to be held accountable for its actions. But so too should our elected officials who continue to vote for and subsidize these conditions. Ultimately, we as a community need to lead a people-powered movement that will restore some sense of morality back into this nation. So continue to organize, continue to make your voices heard, and come out July 12th to another rally we have that's going to be near the border. We'll probably post more details on this event page as well, so you guys can all come and join us. Thank you.
Take off work July 12th. It's a full day of action.
Yeah. Thank you, Milad. Like we said, many of us have said, this is not only a problem affecting the Latinos, it's affecting everyone. So, what we need and what you all need is to continue to get involved, continue to organize, stand up for what is right, stand up and speak truth to power. Because if you're not doing it, nobody else is going to do it. You are the ones that you've been waiting for. Next up, we have the founder of another of our co-sponsors, Generation Justice. Give it up for Aramik Glass Blake.
Glass Blake, and I am the Executive Director of Generation Justice. In these United States, we are very reactive when we should be proactive. Being reactive is spending up to $750 a day for a private prison to detain children in inhumane conditions. $750 a day per child. But we can't provide toothpaste. They can't provide a blanket. They can't meet their basic needs. Reactive. Reactive looks like saying there is not enough money and resources to help those seeking asylum, but spending over $300 billion on a useless agency called ICE. When that money could be spent proactively on case managers, on lawyers, on judges for a clear pathway to citizenship. We are reactive, but not proactive. Some would like us to believe that if we separate children from their parents, they will stop coming. But if death and danger are at their door, why would we want them to stop coming? Some would like us to believe that if we build a wall, they will not climb it. But if death and danger are knocking at their door, why do they even have to climb it in the first place? Marches and speeches at rallies are great for building awareness. But I have to ask, now that we are all aware, what are we really truly willing to do? If children and families stay separated, it will have been on our watch. If children continue to live under inhumane conditions, it will have been on our watch. If one more child dies in ICE custody, it will have been on our watch. If this was your child, how far would you go? If this was your child, how hard would you fight? If this was your child, what waters wouldn't you swim? And if this was your child, how high would you climb? They came to their neighbors seeking shelter, seeking a better life, seeking safety. And when they got to our door, they were greeted with the very thing they were running from: death and danger. Children's lives are at stake. Whatever happens next is on our watch. What are you going to do about it?
Thank you, Emery. We have in our crowd, amongst us, a very special person that has seen this happen over and over again. You know, back then during the Holocaust, our government, our country, was a beacon of hope. We gathered with other nations and fought against atrocities like this. We fought to close concentration camps overseas by a government that instilled hate because they did not know what to do with their fear. Please welcome Philip. Philip is a Holocaust survivor, and he's here with us today. To remind us how this is no different than what we faced back then.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm not a Latino, but I empathize totally with your problem. My name is Phil Preston. I'm a Holocaust survivor, and I was separated from my parents. That is the worst thing that can happen to a child or to the parents. I still am traumatized by it. And all the children who are now separated from their parents in these concentration camps will be traumatized for the rest of their lives. It's awful. It's an atrocity. And shame on the politicians and the senators who will not condemn this action.
That's right.
So next year you have to vote against the Trump administration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philip.
Bravo! Trump camps are concentration camps. Trump camps are concentration camps.
Trump camps are concentration camps.
Trump camps are concentration camps.
This is Wendy right here. Wendy's going to go around. She's here on behalf of Immigrant Justice Now. She's going to go around with a jar and she's collecting donations. So they're going directly to a shelter in Tijuana where people are living the same harsh conditions as they're living in our camps that our government is running here. So please don't shy away as you see her making her way in the crowd. Next up is another community organizer, a community member. Please welcome Yusuf Miller. Give it up for Yusuf Miller!
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yusuf Miller, and I'm here today to talk about the deficit in morality that we have in this country. And it didn't start recently. It is part of the fabric of this country, whether we want to admit it or not. It has happened to our indigenous communities from the onset of the quote-unquote founding of this nation with the indigenous boarding schools and separating their families. It has affected the black bodies of Africans as they've come over here in the slave ships, families torn apart, sent to the Caribbean, while the other family are here in the U.S. and other parts of the world. It has affected our Japanese brothers and sisters in internment camps here. It has affected our Holocaust survivors. It has affected us all over the world. But one thing you will not see in this country is this same violence. on people who are not of black and brown bodies. You'll see that border on the southern border, but you won't see it on our northern border. You will not see the loss of life from people of Spain, or people of France, or people of Germany, or people of any of those places today. You will not see that happen today. You will see it on the bodies of black and brown people from Honduras, from Mexico, from Guatemala, from all of these places you'll see. And if you're from Haiti, forget it. You don't even get that close. This is a morality question that's been plaguing this country since its founding. Built on racism, xenophobia, and all the isms that you can think about. This Muslim ban, banning Muslims who are coming to this country to change this country the way it lives. I'm an African-American Muslim. African Muslims have been here since the founding of this nation, quote-unquote founding. Our indigenous people are under a constant fight of survival. Indigenous, whether you're indigenous North American or indigenous South and Central America, you are indigenous. Whether you're indigenous and you've been colonized by people who speak English, or you're indigenous and you've been colonized by people who speak Spanish, you are one people. And we are your brothers and sisters. And you see among you, in these crowds, your brothers and sisters of white background, of black background, of brown, of Asian. You see us all here standing in solidarity. But is there enough of us? No. Is there enough of us doing action? No. Most of us say, if I was alive during the Holocaust, I would have done something. Are you doing something today? If I was alive during the slave trade, I would do something. Are you doing something today? If I was alive during the Japanese internment camp, I would do something. Are you doing something today? Or are you going to go home and sit on your couch and wait for the next report? Are you going to go home and read a newspaper and wait for the next event? No, we need to do something. We need to act. And this action is based in your vote. It is based in your voice. We, like Aramik said earlier, we can march, we can sing, we can protest, we can hold signs, but we need action.
What action?
The Ramirez father and his daughter, they need action. We are not here to hear speeches. We are actually here to hear a eulogy. We're not here as a rally. We are here at a funeral. A funeral of our morality, of the way we treat families. We suffer in this country from domestic violence, spousal abuse, child neglect, elder abuse. It is no wonder we have a reflection across the border of seeing us not taking care of other people's families because our family system is broken. We need to stand up and protect all families. That is the microcosm of our nation. If we have a broken family, we have a broken nation. If we have a broken concept of family, we have a broken nation. And that's what we're experiencing today, and it's been here since the founding of this nation. If we can dispel the romanticism of who we are, we can honestly address the crisis that we're in. We are so romantic about our flag, so romantic about our nation, and I'm not saying you can't be, but to let that blind the atrocities that are going on right across our border is a shame to the flag and a shame to this land that you're standing on. We're the only country where descendants of immigrants can call other people immigrants and not let them in here. And who are making all these laws? Who are making all these laws? Descendants of immigrants. Who are doing all these atrocities and behind all these atrocities? Descendants of immigrants. We will not take it anymore. We need each and every one of you to go out to your families, to your congregations, to your schools, to your youth groups, to your women's groups, to all of your groups and get them active.
Doing what?
The last thing I'll say is I stand in solidarity with the families of all of our indigenous people, North, South, and Central America, and we will be here with you to the end, because we are one family, we are one people. Thank you very much.
Yusuf Miller, everyone. Thank you. You know, Yusuf touches on the most important issue or thing that we can do, that we can get involved, right? If we can make it to the marches, if we can say that if we were here during the Holocaust, if we were alive during the Holocaust, if we were alive during the slave trade, we would have done something. You are here during this crisis. So what you need to do is organize, empower others, get involved, call your representatives, because they need to be hearing from you. They need to be doing what we need them to do. We can't just sit here and talk. We can't just have conversations, no matter how hard, how difficult, if they're not going to lead into action. Activate. Get everyone out to the polls. 2020 is coming. They know that. You know that. Show them. I've been a community organizer since I was in high school. I started organizing when I was 16. I got back to this country when I was 15. I was working. I was renting my own room. And I was going to high school. It was very personal for me to see what happens in our communities. And that's why I got involved. You are all out here because it's personal. Like Aramik said, these are your children. These are your neighbors. These are your brothers. These are your family members, your friends, your co-workers, the people that make your life possible, your customers, the people that keep this country going, that make it possible for us to be out here in the country's finest city. I'm gonna steal this from Yusuf, quote unquote. Get out there, organize. Get up, stand up. If enough is enough, show it. Please welcome our next speaker. She joins us from a co-sponsor organization, San Diego County's Chicano Federation. Give it up for Nancy Maldonado.
First of all, thank you all for being here. As they mentioned earlier, you could be anywhere on a Sunday morning, and I'm sure you'd love to be at the beach, but you're here. So thank you for being here. And I want to add something. Several months ago, I visited one of these concentration camps here in El Cajon, and I had to look into the eyes of a 6-year-old little boy and tell him to be strong. That's something that will haunt me for the rest of my life. And I recently had a conversation with someone who told me not to call them concentration camps. I'll tell you from my own personal experience, what I saw is that they are. That is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps. And we have them here in our own city. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a stand. You know, throughout history, there have been times where it becomes necessary for all of us to stand up, to speak out, and to fight back against injustices. Now is one of those times where staying silent is not an option. We are living through a dark moment in our country's history, and it is our responsibility to fight back. This fight is about morals and values as a country. A time to decide who we want to be. Because at this moment, we are a country that puts children in cages and separates families looking to build a better life. No child should have to pay with their life because their family is seeking a better future. No child should be held in unsanitary conditions and made to sleep on the floor alone because their family is seeking a better life. No child should suffer irreparable psychological damage due to the physical and mental abuse while in the custody of our government. As an organization that dedicates itself to providing better opportunities for families and to the well-being of children, Chicano Federation denounces the actions by the current administration. We denounce family separation. We denounce the actions by this administration that have led to the abuse and death of children. Using the lives of children of color for political purposes is unacceptable. It should be unacceptable to everyone. But each and every one of us can have an impact, and it is our responsibility to do the right thing. It is our responsibility to speak out and to take action and to build a better country for everyone. Staying silent and doing nothing is complicity. Not taking action is allowing for the continuation of these deplorable and inhumane actions by our own government. Now is the time to step up. This is a moral call to action. This is about human decency and the humane treatment of people. This is about ending the assault on children of color who deserve a fair shot at life. We demand that our government stop this inhumane treatment of children. We demand that our government respect asylum laws as established by our own laws and international law. We demand a sensible and humane approach to policy at the border. This fight is all of our fight, and it is our responsibility to hold our government accountable. History has shown us we are not free until we are all free. Close the camps! 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 Close the camps!
Thank you so much.
Needs a charge. Thank you, Nancy. Up next, we have a volunteer with one of the migrant shelters. Give it up for Belinda Miner.
Thank you. Sorry, so loud. I just wanted to share two things. One is that friends and I have been volunteering for the San Diego Rapid Response Network, which has the migrant shelter for the people who are coming through that ICE has put a shackle on. And we are actually seeing people coming through ICE. We heard about the flu, but I had a lady last week whose arm, she had a baby, her arm was this big because she had fallen a month ago. No one had even taken an x-ray, and it was shattered. So the health of people is really important.
That's right.
And my other folks, of course, are in those jammed in, 100 people in a room with a toilet exposed. You know those stories. My point is this. We're here, this is speaking to the choir, but I don't think it's about the elections in 2020. It's about, if we want change, like that image of the father and child, like the image of the kids in the cages, we require images from inside inside those places, even if it's the back of people, but not just the kids. It's the families. It's anyone. We need photos, and we need any elected official to be able to walk in, not on a tour, not a planned tour for part of it.
That's right.
But at will to take a look. And we have to advocate for that before 2020. It's just getting worse. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next up, we have Julie Corrales. Julie Corrales is going to make an announcement of another event that's coming up. Julie?
Hola, buenas tardes, buenos días, familia. Hey, everybody.
Buenos dias.
Julie Corrales, I'm a People Over Profits and also the Coalition to Close the Concentration Camps, which is really just a lot of San Diego organizations coming together to answer the call for action on July 12th. So we are organizing for an action right now. It is July 12th. Let me read you the details. It is going to start at 5 p.m. at Cesar Chavez Park in San Isidro, where we'll have artivism, art installations, children activities. We're going to march at 6:30 to the border crossing, to the footbridge, and the overhead light brigade will join us, and we'll also end with a vigil. Please come out in numbers, tell your friends, tell your families. We are on Facebook as the Close the Concentration Camps Action in San Diego. You can also go to People Over Profits Facebook page, popsd.org as well, to get additional information. Please come out. This is important. You guys, this is a fight of our lives. This is what's happening at our borders, what's happening to the children. Breaks my heart. I can't sleep at night. We have to free our babies. We have to save them. I have to say that this has been happening since 1492. Like Brother Yusuf was saying, nosotros como Latinos, como Hispanos, como Chicanos, we need to understand that this is our continent. We are the indigenous people of this continent, and this war has been waged against us since 1492. Not when this was Mexico, they put up missions and ripped our families apart and ripped our babies from us then. And we need to continue to survive, continue to fight the way we have. But we really need to rise up, you guys. This is the fight of our lives. I hope to see you all on July 12th.
Thank you, Julie. You're right. This is the fight of our lives. As we're out here, you keep hearing the stories of people from, coming from different parts of the world to our country. It really does not matter what labels we put on people coming out here. People are people, no matter where you are, no matter where you come from. And the root of all of this is fear. Fear from that is different. From those that we do not understand. From their language, different cultures, different choices. But there's something that ties us all together. And that's we all have the ability to feel. We have the ability to choose. Choose right. We cannot be taking this anymore. These stories that have been up here of the people that that have stole their personal stories from their experience, going to the shelters, helping out, getting involved. They're not even the tip of the iceberg. This did not start with the Holocaust. It did not start with the slave trade. We need to show the people in power, that us versus them mindset is not going to work any longer. We need to show people in power unity. We need to get out there from right now, from yesterday, from 10 years ago, that we're still here and we're not going to take it. I mentioned languages, I mentioned culture. Everyone has an immigrant background. The only people that have been here are native nations. Like what I said, we're standing on Kumeyaay land, stolen land. So who are you to call someone illegal?
That's right.
Who are you as someone with ancestors that came across the seas to not welcome someone here? We're all people. We're all here for one thing, for one reason only, and that's seeking a better life, seeking happiness, I'm going to pivot a little bit now and talk about my roots, the roots of many that are here. Before being Joaquin Vazquez or any of the other labels that we all get, I'm also Mexican background. I can say Mexican American because I'm born here and my parents are born in Mexico. And one of the things that we get stripped out of when we come to this country is our mother's last name. When my mom and my brothers followed my dad to Mexico, it was pretty weird for me to be asked, what's your mother's last name? And to my embarrassment, every time I was asked that, was the same question. I don't know. What do you mean? Those are the types of things that start dividing us little by little, just chipping away our identities, our culture. My mother's last name is Patlan. Switching to Spanish. El apellido de mi mamá es Patlan. Patlan es una palabra náhuatl, del idioma de los aztecas, del idioma de las personas que estuvieron antes que ellos. My mother's last name is Patlan. The Nahuatl word, the language of the Aztecs, the language of their ancestors. Don't forget your roots. Don't forget where you come from. Because we're not out here just being white or black or brown or any other color that people want to say. Yes, we do come from different places, but we're all here today. We're all sharing this air. So stand up for each other. Walk together. Hold each other's hands. If you see somebody being stepped on, stand up for them.
Stand up.
Because if we don't, then other people are going to continue to step on us. And eventually they're going to step on you.
That's right.
This day and age, we have a lot going on in our lives. We have advances in technology. You know, everyone out here is holding cell phones or some sort of device recording this event, right? So it's pretty easy to just go on your everyday lives, pick up the phone, snap some pictures, go on Facebook, go on the social medias and see what everybody's up to. But you also get the news. So don't ignore those articles about people that are suffering. Because what you're doing there is ignoring people's voices. And we're in this situation because people have been ignored for far too long. People have been left out of the conversation for far too long, out of the process. And when we try to engage, when we try to make a difference, we get a lot of pushback. We've accomplished a lot as organizers, people just standing up. But no one here can do it alone. And no one here has to do it alone. If you're gonna be out here enjoying everyone's company, you're gonna be out here enjoying the fair, enjoying the sun, enjoying what this country, this city has to offer, fight for it.
Fight for it.
Fight for what you want. Fight for what you believe. Fight for what you feel. Fight for everyone that cannot fight for themselves. If somebody cannot speak for themselves, get up there and speak for them. You know what they're going through. You see what they're going through. Don't turn your face somewhere else.